Okay, so far what we've created, I have my two sides, and then this is going to be the front of the box, and it's going to sit on the inside like that. And when we have this here, what we're going to look at is how we'll attach those, and we'll talk about that. But what I'm missing is the back. So I need the back piece of my box, and to do that, we're going to use MDF, and we're going to cut that out of a large 3/4 inch panel, and it's really heavy and awkward, so we're going to use a different tool to do that, where we're going to use it, it's called a track saw. So we're going to set up the track saw, get our MDF panel kind of in place, and then we're going to cut that with our track saw. Alright, so what I want here is I have the piece of 3/4 inch MDF set up, and it's on the track for the track saw. And what I'm going to do is I need 9.5 inches of this cutoff. And so I'm going to measure out 9.5 inches. And I'm going to do it on both sides because it's a long distance to span. And I want to make sure that I have that set up as best I can. And then I'm going to use a drywall square to go that distance to mark that off, making sure it's lined up as best I can. And that's the line that I want to cut. Now, the way the track saw is set up is this line here is where the saw will cut. So I want to put my piece right at that line. And again, it's a full sheet of MDF, which is pretty heavy and hard to maneuver, so more people using it is going to be better to help maneuver it. So that looks like it's going to cut on my line. And the next piece I'm going to do is take my track saw, and what's going to happen is it's going to go right in that track, and I'm just going to bring it along, and it will cut that piece. All right? I have to set the depth. For you guys, first time through, that'll be set for you. But basically, I bring this down to the distance that I want it to be. So I set my depth. In this case, I want a 3/4 inch depth. And then there is an anti-kickback slide on this. There's a red knob that will, when it's set one way, it will allow it to come back and forth. When I set that kickback slide, when I push it the other way, now it'll go forward, but it won't come back. So that'll keep the saw from coming back towards me as I do this. You want to make sure that your cord guide is in that slot back here, and then I'm going to get it started. In the slot, check my line one more time, looks good enough for what we're doing, and then I'm going to press both the thumb stop and the trigger, and then bring that blade down to cut into my MDF. There we go. We've created our piece that's 9.5, and now what I want to do is we're going to use that on the miter saw to get the other piece that we need here coming across. Okay, so I brought my piece of MDF to the miter saw. I again have my line marked off. I'm going to move it just to the left of that line, looking at the shadow there. And then I'm going to lock this down. I think I probably need this spacer to be able to hold it. That holds it nice and steady. I'm going to bring it out and then push slowly and steady through the wood, going back through it. Again, keeping my left hand behind my back so that it's out of the way. Alright, so let's bring this side back to the other three sides, and let's see what kind of our dry fit rough